So carrying on with the theme of mashups this week, for the readings I'm going to discuss this week are The Cute Cat Theory of Digital by Ethan Zuckerman, and the political video mashups as allegories of citizen empowerment by Richard L. Edwards and Chuck Tryon. So Ethan Zuckerman first kind of looks at the development of Web 2 and how that has allowed political things to take place on the net. So he kind of argues that Web 2 was created to allow people to share pictures of cats, kind of creating this like ease of sharing and how it can cross a global network. And his hypothesis is that any sufficiently advanced read or write technology will get used for two purposes: pornography and activism. And he focuses mainly on activism. And he argues that Web 2 technology has built two sophisticated tools, and that's the ease of creating content and the ease of sharing content. And I've seen that in the work I've done today for my political video mashup, because all I had to do was create the video on an application called Windows Movie Maker, and then you just click one button and it uploads, and you can upload it to pretty much any internet page that will allow you to, that you probably have an account with. So I completely agree with him there when he says that Web 2 has two revolutions. He also argues that Web 2 technology has allowed international attention, and he gives the example of Ali Abdel Fattah, who was a protester, and he supported the independence of the Egyptian judicacy, and he was arrested and began blogging from prison, and it got international media attention and it was everywhere. So he's arguing how Web 2 technology has allowed this kind of global phenomenon to take place. And he also argues that things like Twitter and Facebook have become useful in crisis reporting. So Juliana Rochett used her Twitter feed to report live from Eldoret during the post-election violence, and obviously that gained mass attention. And then kind of following on from Web 2 technology is when I'm going to bring in the second reading now, which is by Richard Edwards and Chuck Tryon. And they kind of look at video mashups, and they say that video mashups recombines two or more pre-existing videos and or audio into a new derivative work. And he argues that this work generates new meanings through the juxtaposition of the original source materials. And he says that these videos that create new meanings, it's called citizen-generated content. So they focus on political video mashups, and they argue that there are three types in political terms. There's a mode of advocacy, a form of protest, and as a political observation and commentary. So the first one is the video mashup as political advocacy, and it's the Vote Different video, which kind of shows, it takes the 1984 Apple Super Bowl advert, and replaced on the video is footage of Hillary Clinton's speech, and it kind of forces a reading of both the new text. And it's kind of arguing that Clinton's speech is in an attempt to, it's kind of not to reach out to Democratic viewers, but they've aligned it with Orwellian politics. And the Apple advert is kind of used to highlight the liberatory power of Macintosh, and it's kind of now used as a way to look at potential voters, so it changes the way that the video is viewed. And then the second type is video mashup as political protest. An example of this is the Imagine This video, which is, it's taken from a famous speech that George Bush did, and it's taken words from his speech, so it sounds like he's singing the song Imagine by John Lennon, and it kind of creates this thing of, because it creates a conflict, because the song is all about peace and against things like war, and obviously it's quite well known that George Bush took America to war, so this creates a juxtaposition as well by creating a completely different new meaning. And it's a protest because it's protesting against the war in Iraq, and they kind of create resistance as well. However, Edwards and Tryon argue that even though it does this, you're aware that it's constructed and you know it's not real, so that can take away your meaning and from the video and how you perceive the video. And then the last one is video mashup as political commentary, and this was seen in the Godfather 4 video, which was basically a fake trailer designed by someone, and it's commenting on an issue that the White House counsel Alberto Gonzales and President Bush's chief of staff Andrew Card went to the hospital to visit the then attorney John Ashcroft because he was in extensive care, and they said that the purpose of the visit was to pressure Ashcroft into signing Bush's domestic surveillance program, which at the time was regarded illegal. And this comedian kind of pinned it that like it felt like it was a scene out of The Godfather, and then this prompted this fake trailer to happen called The Godfather 4, and it shows them going to the hospital and the whole story taking place. So it's kind of a mashup video of combined scenes of The Godfather and then Commie's testimony against the two visiting him. They also kind of look at mashup and compare them with Einstein's work on motion picture. So mashups create meaning through collision, and this collision is similar to Einstein's collision of montage. And Einstein says that find in the juxtaposition of shots an arrangement of a new qualitative element, a new image, and a new understanding. So you could say that when you create these mashups and you put these two original sources together, you create a new meaning, which is how it can be linked to Einstein's work. So my video this week that I have done on political mashup is we were told to create conflict. So I tried to show two conflicts. I took the Liberal Democratic policy of not raising university tuition fees, and I've got images at the beginning and videos of Nick Clegg saying they weren't going to raise fees, and then towards the end gradually intercepting videos saying that he was going to. And then in the background I've put a song called Won't Back Down by Tom Petty, which is a song about standing by your morals and not giving in, and I've put that over the video because I don't think that's what Nick Clegg did. So that was mine.